Hello and welcome to the Tarka Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be playing the game Diablo 4 and I'm going to be going over my Berserker. He's 24th level now. I'm going to show you some of the play. We got to reset this dungeon. What's beautiful about Diablo 4 is if you run a dungeon and you just want to test your build out and it's a mini dungeon like this one, just go to the map, hit reset dungeons, hit accept, and then you can just go back into the dungeon and redo it. And I like doing this to test builds out, and I'm going to be going over my build, but you're going to see how effective it is here. I'm only using, well, I've got my 2 attack abilities here, and then I got my 4 core abilities here. And I think these are the 4 core abilities I'm going to have for the rest of the game. I like them. I don't think I'm going to need to be swapping those out. So let's just see how effective it is. Gonna just go here, pop the shield, pop the taunt, go into whirlwind, pop my other shout, doing my whirlwind, take a potion, pop my shield again. Okay, that was pretty neat, huh? And these mobs, I think this dungeon is it's a 24 level dungeon. We'll go back outside again. It's a 24 level dungeon. I'm on veteran mode, the hard mode. I'm going to reset it one more time so that you can see that again. And then I'm going to go into how I put this together and why I put this together. There was a few abilities that I found that my last video didn't have, abilities that I should have taken, and I've changed my specs since my last video, so I'll be sharing that with you. I'm going to open this chest because that's going to proc all the monsters. Pop my taunt, pop my shield, then I'm going to pop my berserk. I'm unstoppable for 5 seconds and I do a crap load of damage. And that's that in a nutshell. Okay, so let's go over it. What I've got in the first key is challenging shout. This is my taunt. This is what's going to bring mobs to attack me. They're going to forget about my allies. They're going to attack me. I take, right now, I taunt nearby enemies and gain 45% damage reduction for 12 seconds. And while challenging shout is active, I gain 20% bonus maximum life. Then I took iron skin. And I've got this at rank 2 because I have an item in my inventory that gives me 1 to it. That's what's nice about the item system is if you don't want to utilize your points to get these up to rank 5, just put 1 point into the skill, which we'll look at the skill tree in a minute, and put 1 point in and then let the gear give you the rest of the points you need to make it a higher rank. And in this case, I got 1 piece of gear that's giving me a 1 to the additional 1 that I spent. And this iron skin, it seals yourself into a barrier that absorbs 55% of your missing life for 5 seconds. So it's up for 5 seconds. And then the modifier is, while the iron skin is active, heal for 10% of the barrier's original amount of life per second. So it absorbs damage, plus it heals me on top of absorbing damage. This war cry here is the it bellows a mighty war cry, increasing your damage dealt by 15% for 10 seconds and nearby allies for 5.2 seconds. So you're increasing your attack output, plus you're giving that to your party members. The modifiers, war cry grants you berserking for 4 seconds, and war cry grants you 28% base life as fortify. Okay, the last ability here is Wrath of the Berserker. Gain berserking and unstoppable for 5 seconds. For the next 10 seconds, dealing direct damage with basic skills grants berserking for 5 seconds. So you just go into beast mode. And then Flay being my primary attack and Whirlwind being my secondary attack. Let's go into the talent tree, because I took some passive abilities that you're going to want to know about. So we knew about the flay. We did that in the last video. I took that tree here so I could get into the damage reduction aspect of it in the 40 Thorns. The next part of the talent tree, this node, I took Whirlwind, only put 1 point into it. I did do its the enhancements all the way up to, while using it, you get the 30% increase as you use it for more than 2 seconds. That's my AoE to help me do mobs, and this is my single target one. Okay, so the next node here, I did not take Rattling Cry. I'm getting that from a gear, but I'm not actually utilizing it right now because you only can have 4 abilities down there. So just ignore that. Ignore this one too. I'm getting that from an item too. But I did put 1 point into Imposing Presence. This is a passive ability. It's gained 5% additional maximum life. So eventually I'll get this capped out to 3. Its buried ability is damage reduction against elites is increased by 4%. So I'll definitely be spending 6 points probably here towards endgame, because that's bread and butter, what you need for high core rating right there. Maximum hit points and damage reduction, especially for hardcore gaming. This here is the extra ability I didn't take in my last video that works very well. It's the shield, it's the iron skin. This, I do recommend it. It's the one that heals you while it absorbs, and it heals you if you spend points into the 2 more points into it. The iron skin absorbs 6% more of your maximum life. And then this one is, while iron skin is active, heal for 10% of the barrier's original amount as life per second. And the extra point, see it's got a 2 here. I think that extra point is coming from 1 point a gear. Okay, then I took the taunt, the challenging shout, and I only bought the second node for this one. While challenging shout is active, gain 20% bonus maximum life. I did not take the next one here. I'm not sure if I'm going to. There's just a lot that I want to spend my points on, and I don't think these, I think I need to put them more up here for benefits. I don't think either one of these are going to really benefit me much for a tank, but if you're playing a tank out there, guys, if you think I'm not seeing this correctly, you can tell me in the comments below that I need to take one of these. Going to the next tree. In this tree, I basically spent most of my points here. I spent 6 points here. This one here allows my shouts to have a longer duration, which is good. And this one here is the shouts, all my shouts heal allies for 3% of their maximum life per second. So I'm healing the people that are with me at the same time that I'm extending my shouts, and I'm running 2 shouts. So I'm running the war cry, and I'm running the challenging shout. So I'm running both those shouts in my build. So both those shouts have these abilities stacked with them, meaning that their durations are longer, plus I'm healing my comrades while I use them. All right, the next node here, what I ended up doing here is I just got 1 point of thick skin, and I did 1 point of defensive stance. And the thick skin is each time you take direct damage, gain 0.4% of 0.4% base life, 1 as fortify, so you get a little bit of healing there. The second node increases the damage reduction gained while you're fortified by an additional 3%. So if you are getting fortified, then you're getting more damage reduction. I'll probably end up putting another 2 points into thick skin eventually. All right, and then the most recent one that I picked was Berserker, the Wrath of the Berserker, giving me that unstoppable. And as a tank, as a support class tank, I'm going to need that, especially if we get abilities, or if we got a mob that's got a one-shot ability that no matter what it does, it one-shots you. So being able to proc that right before a one-shot boss, then you won't take any damage. So it's a must for tanking. It's a must. I mean, these other abilities are pretty nice, but if you're doing a Barbarian that's a DPS build, these are the abilities you want to take. As for tanking, I can't think of why you would not take this ability. So this is as far as I've gotten into the tree. If you think I'm spending my points wrong, you please let me know in my comments. I'm trying to do a support class plus tank. Maybe I don't really need to spend the 3 points into the healing my allies, but I figured this early in the game, why not? Maybe end game, I'll have to pull that out and let some other class do, or some other barbarian do it. But this is what I'm really thinking is going to be my bread and butter build for my berserker. Again, I'm only 24th level. I'm really enjoying this game. I'm having so much fun with it. I love how the fact that they give you more XP when you have people that are with you. I find the game challenging. I find the game, the lore in the quests very nicely done. They're not overwhelmingly long. They're pretty average in their duration. And I like the fact that you can reset dungeons so that you can just do them over and over again. And the dungeons are supposed to be randomly generated, or at least the mobs are randomly generated in this one. So it's been a good time. So that's it, folks. I'm just wrapping it up at the 24th level mark here. The beta weekend is almost over, so I don't know how many more levels I'll be able to put on this guy before this weekend ends. I'll be playing next weekend the beta, so I'll be able to put more levels on it, and I'll be able to show you what my barbarian looks like then. All right, well, thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.